Yo, Crypto Nation and mining family, what is going on? What up, what up, what up? I see Crypto Bedell in the Chisity chat. What's going on? Talking about 3D printing over there. It's like Ender 3 Max extruder to a Micro Swiss. Ordered the wrong before then and had to reassemble and print new shroud and BL Touch adapter. Not much info on this, so let's see how it goes. Yeah, that's the one issue with the Micro Swiss. You almost want to sit there and buy the whole Micro Swiss direct drive with the carriage, motor, everything all built into one piece for the Ender 3. It seems like that just has everything that you need for it. Outside of that, good luck with all that. I ended up I've got the Sprite direct drive extruder head from Creality. No issues with it. I like it. So, yo, what's going on in the dead wood? What up, what up? What's going on, all you happy hashers out there? I know a lot of people are sitting there being very happy about that busy Bitcoin, kind of trading sideways here. We are currently just kind of establishing that support level, a healthy support level that I was talking about, This is that support level we want, guys. And just remember, guys, this is where I was talking about, last week was, if we could just sit here in this channel, bounce around a little bit here, establish that ground floor before we rock it out of here. But if you're starting to see here, we are starting to tighten up on the MA ribbon. To me, that's a good thing. It usually means that market's going to move somewhere. Anytime you got nice, good tightening, you will always have a little bit of a sell-off pressure in there. But depending on how it's tightening up, if it's tightening up and recoiling and ready to shoot off like a rocket, is anybody's best guess. But I believe we're sitting there and establishing a good ground floor here. I think that we'll stay above this $20,000 mark here for a little while. That, to me, is a healthy market movement. So I hope everybody definitely smashes that smashes the like button for that one. That Bitcoin should be just kind of maintaining and holding this trend line here. It's my opinion, of course. Not financial advice. What do you think I am? What do you think I am? A person that's going to sit there and say what's going to be the next most profitable thing out there? I don't think so. So I'm hoping everybody's liking this. And I was sitting here kind of it popped up almost where I was thinking when it was going to. And kind of ride on out. What up, droid guy? Yep, know it. FA. That's right, everybody drop those FAs in the Chisity chat, guys. Yo, you guys all rock, dude. So I'm just saying, y'all rock. So, seeing that the Bitcoin is going in the right direction, good thing. Look at this. This is gold, guys. Gold has lost 30%. Because basically what's going on is that people are not so worried about the market movement. Gold and silver are considered safe haven assets. Now that they think that basically inflation genie's been put back into the bottle, the safe haven assets that don't really generate any real long-term yields off of it are now being sold off for risk on assets. Talking about like risk on assets would be investing into tech stocks. Tech stocks are going to be a risk on asset because you don't know if any of those companies are going to be around tomorrow. That's always been an issue with any of the tech stock industry, is that they, a lot of these tech companies, they are propping themselves up, not so much so they can service customers, but so they can be acquired. And once the company's acquired, the stock shareholders get screwed out of that deal a lot of times. It's like FA for life, yo. That's what's up, Droid Guy. You rock. What up, Sadie? What's going on? Dropping that FA. Y'all rock for sure. So, seeing that gold is kind of being sold off is not a bearish signal for gold in any way, shape, or form. My viewpoint on it is gold and silver is God's money, Bitcoin's the people's money. Everything else, you're gambling. You're 100% gambling. And I'll get into some interesting stuff about that one here in a little bit. Litecoin kind of doing its little rollover thing right along with that busy Bitcoin. Everything follows what Bitcoin does. If you are new here, if you want to know what your poop coin is going to do, look at what Bitcoin's doing. If Bitcoin's going up, your poop coin's going to go up too. I'm just saying. Everything looks at Bitcoin going, we can't do anything without your permission, sir. What are we allowed to do today? And Bitcoin's like, dump it. And they're like, aye, aye, Captain. And the rest of the market poops itself. So, Litecoin not being privy to this, Litecoin's going to sit there and roll over right along with that busy Bitcoin. A good bullish sentiment for the Litecoin stance would be Litecoin puts in a support line right at this $97 to about $110 range and just kind of trades inside this range for a little while. That would be a very bullish sentiment on Litecoin. The longer it can hold a specific line, the more it becomes resistance to break through. Therefore, typically your only direction you can go is up at that point. Not saying that you can't continue to break down, but that would take a market sentiment change for the market to continue to break down. And considering that there's a lot of people coming into the crypto space, I mean, you've got MicroStrategy sitting there still buying. You got ARK Investment still buying. These are the two biggest firms out there that are acquiring Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is the leading largest Bitcoin purchaser of last year at over 8,000 Bitcoin being purchased, guys. Yes, that is a lot of sweet, busy Bitcoin. So, seeing the whole market going up, very bullish. I mean, you can sit there. Even silver is sitting there rolling over because it is a safe haven. Safe havens are done for right now. Until something changes in the market, we'll see this kind of plateau and drop off, kind of come right around that $19 to $20 per ounce for silver. If you guys are looking for a buy-in on silver is always to me a good buy. Usually it's a little bit easier on your pocketbook. There are times where the silver to gold ratio is in favor of silver, and you can get more gold per ounce of silver that you possess. So there are times where it makes sense to trade from silver into gold and hold on to the gold longer term. But a lot of what you're seeing with this sell-off on gold and silver, this is not the physical market. The physical market has not changed. They are buying faster than you can ever believe, guys. This is the derivatives market. So basically paper gold and paper silver. That is what's selling off here. So your futures markets and stuff like that, your ETFs, they're selling out like hotcakes because people are trying to free up the cash that they had in their safe haven. Safe haven for us in crypto would be like Tether, right? So gold and silver is the same thing for the stock market. So now that it's done its job, everybody's getting out of silver and gold and then going back into the casino to gamble in the stock market. Because realistically, the stock market's no different than the altcoin market. It's all trash. What up, MC? What's going on, my dude? What's up? What's up? I'll tell you what's not. I can tell you what's up here. The sound of a little fan screaming. So this 10 gigabyte per second SSD, Speeds now available to consumers, but they come at a cost, guys. So this little fan here is server grade EWM that will hit some breakneck speeds, guys. So the 2 terabyte storage from CFD, the first Japanese retail market with more storage options coming later to overcome the heating problem. CFD put a heatsink on with a small fan on top of it. It's unclear if this storage can even be used with the motherboard heatsink instead. But this thing has a wine on there like you would not believe. So I'm not sure if that is the best solution for cooling this 10 gigabyte per second SSD. This is going to be Gen 5, so if you don't have Gen 5 motherboard, I wouldn't even worry about this. Get your standard stuff. Don't go nuts trying to figure out how you're going to be able to run this if you do not have Gen 5 PCIe lanes on your motherboard and a CPU that can utilize it. You're just going to be wasting your money. And I'd hate to see all you guys wasting your hard-earned money. It's cool stuff as long as you're building on a new platform. It'd be interesting to run something like this in if you were trying to do plotting of some sort for Chia. But I mean, it's like I don't get into the whole Chia mining myself. But to each their own. But for something like this, might be a good solution. But again, it's going to come at a cost. That little fan there is going to have a whistle like you would not believe on there. I was wondering which style of fan that they were using on this. And it's obviously a similar style fan that you would be seeing in server power supplies that they're putting on top of an SSD M.2. I'm interested in this because this will hopefully bring this to the market for the general consumer over time. I don't typically jump upon brand new hardware like this. I like to let it get out for a little while, get a little bit more mature, let them work the bugs out of it before I'm like, yeah, let me get that. So yeah, I'd be very, very interested to see this, in the coming months and stuff. But we've already been seeing that there are some issues with these. With the controllers on them potentially dying out for some reason. They don't know if it's a driver issue or whatnot. But yeah, again, this is bugs being worked out of something in new technology. But I like the heat sink on there, but it comes at a noise cost, guys. It comes at a definite noise level cost. And guess what, guys? Guess what? We have something here. Big news. We found something that can play CRYSIS. Oh my lord. So MTT S80 runs CRYSIS. Yo! So More Threads announced its MTT S80 graphics card, also known as the first gaming desktop card to support PCIe Gen 5 upon release. The card has been distributed amongst Chinese tech outlets who later published very similar looking reviews in November. Unfortunately, those reviews lack details. The MTT S80 is not a high-end GPU, nor is it expected to beat the latest GeForce, Radeon, or Intel series. On the other hand, this will be the first time that Chinese GPUs can actually offer playable experience across many games, so definitely worth checking out. This is also, More Threads is connected with the Chinese government PC building corporation. I forget the name of the company, but More Threads is tied in with them. So this is going to be something that's going to be made basically in partnership with the Chinese government. Of course, most stuff that's in China is made in relationship with the Chinese government. Anyway, but the thing that I can sit there and see is, can they get this GPU to, if they were to sell it abroad, could they put something in the BIOS that would basically screen capture and communicate back to more threads, which would, be another a spy variation, like TikTok. I mean, granted, TikTok is a little different, but it makes you wonder if there's any way that through the drivers in the that you would have to upload to get the GPU to work, right? Would those same drivers communicate back to more threads, which would basically leak information to the Chinese government from any country, that anybody in the world that's utilizing their GPUs? I mean, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist on there, but the potential is there. So, be careful with that. But it is kind of funny that that their claim to fame is going to be that it plays CRYSIS. It's like they brought back the meme, guys. They brought it back. You thought they were done with it, and then they bring it back. So it officially will support the DX9 and DX11 APIs. It appears that it works with games that support the DX11-1, but it doesn't. I'm not sure if it will support the Ultra variation of it, but it does not look like it has DX12 or DX12 Ultra, so it will not play most of the newer AAA titles out there. It will be basically on the older hardware only. And they're comparing this to the Arc lineup because, well, let's be real about it. The MTT S80 is gonna be bottom of the barrel hardware. They're not gonna try to go toe to toe with AMD. They're gonna lose. Nvidia, they already know they lost. But considering that they're comparing themselves to Arc, and they're still behind. So Arc 3D Mark at 1080p, the score was 141,000 to 55,000. So Arc wins there. Arc basically wins across the board. 3D Mark 06 default 40,000 points versus 14,000 points. I mean, like, you could tell that the MTT S80 is way behind. So you're not going to get the high frame rate on there. So if you've got a really fast monitor, that GPU is only going to push out what it can. Now, subsequently, for somebody who has a very small budget, a very small form factor build, this is probably going to be a nice GPU for that person. It's like, it should be a low power card. It has 4,096 cores on there, equipped with 16 gigabytes of GDDR6, PCIe Gen 5 interface on there. So it should be able to push out some performance and be pretty efficient in doing so. And consider, it depends on how many watts that the card uses overall. Did they give it all the beans and it still comes up short? Or is this thing like just sipping on it, like it's just like being just power efficient? And then because of the power efficiency, they lost performance off the card. If that's the case, then this should be a very budget friendly card. But it's like, every time I see this brand, I've never seen it outside of China. So this is something that's very exclusive into China. So more threads, MTT S80. If you guys ever get your hands on one and you want to send it to your favorite YouTuber here and let me test on it, I would be most appreciated. I'd love to be able to test out on this graphics card if anybody ever grabs one. But I'm not going to go out of my way for it. But I just thought it was hilarious that their claim to fame on this one is going to be we could play CRYSIS. It's like, oh my god, I think everything at this point can except the 1080. GTX 1080 can. But so there we go. And amongst this this little mini bull run that we just went through, and now kind of holding this like Bitcoin level here, we're starting to see some of the market kind of fluctuate out and kind of balance out a little bit. But there are still companies still struggling out there, just like Core Scientific, guys. So it looks like Core Scientific is going to be handing over another 27,000 mining rigs to squash a $38 million debt. So the bankrupt mining firm believes that the long-term benefits outweigh the immediate loss of handing over the machines. So they're trying to basically dig themselves out of bankruptcy if they can. Just because you declare bankruptcy doesn't mean that you are going to be bankrupt. Sometimes during the bankruptcy proceedings, you're able to find resolution. And that's basically what every bankruptcy lawyer is going to be trying to do. Is they're going to try to not let you go into bankruptcy. It's better for everybody if you find resolution. So it looks like they're trying to do what they can. The crypto mining firm Core Scientific has made deals with the New York Digital Investment Group, New York Dig, to pay off an outstanding debt of $3.86 million by handing over more than 27,000 ASICs used as collateral. In a court filing, the company said that the mining rigs were no longer essential to its operation and plants. Well, they lost their main place where they were going to be putting all these ASICs, so they probably don't even have the room for those over 27,000 ASICs at this point. They just have them just sitting there doing nothing because they don't have the power. They gave up their main facility to Galaxy Digital. So there's that. They are being hollowed out very slowly. And now they're on, they're trying to stop the bleeding is what they're doing at this point, guys. While the company accepted the move would negatively impact its revenue, Core Scientific highlighted that its long-term benefits of paying off its debt outweighed the immediate loss. The crypto mining firm believes that the transfer is the first step towards becoming more profitable and sustainable. The firm is also shifting its operations to what is described as somewhat smaller but more efficient fleet of mining rigs, which were in storage and not mining Bitcoin. The company plans to mitigate some of the losses incurred by the transfer of the assets by installing the S19 XP mining rigs, which were not currently in use. So now they're going to be just cycling out old hardware because, again, they lost their main mining facility where they had all their big power at, right? So now they're left with, I think, one or two smaller locations. So it makes sense to now pull the old hardware that doesn't make sense to be running in their facility and swapping it out with the most advanced hardware that they have, and you can sit there and get more hash rate for less watts. It's a win-win. And that's basically what they're talking about here, becoming more efficient, getting rid of the older hardware. So if they're, an S17s, bye-bye, they're gone. Get rid of all the S17s of all flavors that they have there. The early S19s, you might be, it's like anything in the S19 family, you'd pretty much be good with. But if you've got a bunch of the higher hashing ones, the 140 terahash, I would be going after those. And if I've got more of those than the older S19s, then I'd be unplugging the older S19s, putting in the bigger and badder ones in its place, and selling off what I didn't need. So it seems like that's the direction that they're going to try to go. Hopefully they can hang on here. Again, they got screwed over in part by Celsius, stuffing them with a big bill. a big electric bill that they could not sustain. So, it's like you go into a bear market and you're limping along somebody else's mine on top of yours. Yeah, you're going to bleed through your war chest real quick. And that's not a good strategy for any business at any point in time. I don't care how nice you are to another person. There's a difference between, hey, I'll help you out. You're in a jam right here. I can help you out here as long as, I got guarantee that I'm going to get paid back. And, as long as the risk on that is really low, then it makes sense to help out another company. Outside of that, no. It's you can't survive. There'll be another one in your place, But that's just how it's going to be. And I don't know how long they were helping out Celsius with them not paying their electric bill, but I do know that they were in the millions. So we'll see how that one goes for Core Scientific. I wish them the best of luck. What's going on, Gunner? With the big old yo. And check this out, guys. And if you think that the Bitcoin bear market is bad for anybody, for just us, check this out. So Marathon, one of the second biggest publicly listed holder of Bitcoin, wants to have a war chest of liquidity comprised of both cash and Bitcoin. So Marathon hasn't sold any of their sweet busy Bitcoin in 2 years, guys. So they sold enough Bitcoin to carry them for 2 years. So they sold Bitcoin at the top of the market, and it was enough to carry them all the way until now. So according to an updated post on February 2nd, the company disclosed that during January, it sold 1,500 Bitcoin, worth $35.3 million at current price, guys. So they sold off just a little bit, just so that they could sit there and pay the things they need to pay for, right? While crypto miners have been forced to sell Bitcoin due to distress, Marathon's vice president of corporate communications, Charlie Schumacher, said it was not the case for Marathon. Schumacher said that Marathon had been a diamond handed in its Bitcoin until now, as the firm didn't want to sell while production was down, and has been bullish on the long-term prospects of the leading cryptocurrency. But coming into the new year, Marathon wants to have a war chest of liquidity composed of both cash and Bitcoin, and is looking to continue to pay down its debt and increase its cash positions. Schumacher also noted that Bitcoin's recent uptick in the price contributed to the decision to sell some of its holdings. January Bitcoin saw the price rise above 2,400 per Bitcoin, since highest price level since August. Even after the sale of Marathon managed to increase its unrestricted Bitcoin holdings in the month to 8,090 Bitcoin, or 189.9 million. I would like to get 1% of that. Just saying. Marathon also said that it's it has significantly ramped up production throughout January, producing 687 Bitcoin, which represents an increase of 45% compared to the prior month. Oh my God. They produced in 1 month 687 Bitcoin, guys. Oh! I would like to get like 1% of that per month. Thank you. What up, Big Room? What up, my dude? So last year, Marathon noted that in May, the May 4th update, that the last time it sold any Bitcoin was on October 21st, 2020. And it has been holding since then, guys. When asked how it managed to avoid selling the main product of its business operation, Schumacher pointed to the firm's low headcount, consisting of 32 people as of today. What? He's got one of the biggest mining facilities. He's only got a staff of 32 people. That's amazing. I knew it could be done with very little people, but oh my god, that goals, guys, goals. Yeah, the bigger your company, the more of a headcount you have, the more your business is going to cost you per day, per week, and per month. So if you can keep yourself lean and mean in any business, you have a tendency of doing much better. Now, if you need the people for a means of production, that's a different story. But then the amount of profitability, the amount of money coming in has to outweigh the money that you're going to be spending going out. That's where it makes sense. So for Marathon that only running with 32 people on the payroll, that's good to know that a sizable Bitcoin mining facility really doesn't need a gigantic army around the clock to be staying there. Perfect. Good to know. Good to know. These are when you're like, you scratch your head and you're like, damn. What up, Rude? What up? What up? And talking about people who hold onto a bunch of Bitcoin. Yo, check this out. So MicroStrategy stock rockets by 100% in this year as firm buys 8,800 Bitcoin amid the 2022 crash. I believe that's total of what they've purchased. So enterprise business intelligence software vendor MicroStrategy purchased over 8,800 Bitcoin during its massive plunge. During the massive plunge the crypto market suffered in 2022. Oh wow, they bought all that last year. Oh my gosh. And it just, oh wow, that'd be huge, guys. That's huge. With the price doubling, like going up almost double for where they were at. Bitcoin, their MicroStrategy stock has doubled. Started off at just below 150. We're just below $300 per share, guys. So yeah, that is a 100% uptick here in stock value. So booyah. This is when you made a good bet. That MicroStrategy sat there and they, by the fourth quarter, they had lost $250 million worth of value. But that comes back quick with the price of Bitcoin rocketing up here. So if we could sit there and tick up to like $30,000 per Bitcoin, MicroStrategy will be one of the best performing companies in the New York Stock Exchange of this year. And I don't think anything would dethrone it unless Bitcoin does a massive pullback. It's like, now what? Roll. So, MicroStrategy being one of the biggest Bitcoin bulls out there, guys. This to me, this is like a net win for any corporate investor. This is where you go for being a corporate investor on this, guys. It's like taking into the report, the Bitcoin purchases at the dip was more than 200 million. Adds up to a total of 132,500 Bitcoin bought from the company as of December 31st at an average price of $30,000, a little over $30,000 per Bitcoin, which means that MicroStrategy has spent $3.9 billion on its Bitcoin purchases. If that's not bullish, I don't know what the hell is. You just got somebody that's put in there's $3.9 billion on the balance sheet. I remember when the total market cap of crypto wasn't even $4 billion. I mean, like I remember that Bitcoin's market cap was like maybe $1 billion. Maybe went underneath $1 billion for a little bit there. Yeah, that's when I got involved, So to see that he's put in more of a market cap into Bitcoin than where it was whenever I started investing into Bitcoin in the first place, that's nothing but bullish to me. I love this. Absolutely love this. This article next here, guys. Yo. So, if you guys haven't checked this out yet, LOL Miner is releasing has a new release focused on improving Nexa mining. So if you guys are onto Nexa, you'll have a 35% increased performance on Turing-based GPUs. You'll have a 1.5% when memory is not locked, and less than 3% memory on locked memory on the Ampere 8GB GPUs from NVIDIA. 10 gig and higher GPUs got an additional 5% performance increase. Next up, performance on NVIDIA ADA-based GPUs, approximately 25% when on locked memory, about 8% on unlocked memory. So let's see here. Supports on 137pool.org now. Looks like they had an issue with detecting it and being connected to the pool while using it. Updated web UI for Nexua mining to add more pools to the support. Updated GUI, so the interface on the mining, on the mining being launched and stuff. The fixes, a bug causing scattered defect on shards, on shares on Nexo mining on all OSs. Display bug when setting power limits on NVIDIA GPU, saying value is out of range, although it was fine. Bug in Nexua mining of the miner creating defects in Windows. Fix the mining bug of the miner crashing silently after a few minutes in Windows. So it would start mining and then silently crash and come back. So, you're looking at downtime. If it takes 5 seconds for it to come back, that was 5 seconds of no shares. And when you're sitting there and you're GPU drag racing, but basically that's what you're doing when you're mining here, is that 5 seconds basically put you behind the 8 ball here, and you're not getting as many shares as you really should, which means your payouts are low for the amount of power you are continuously spending. So this is not a good thing. It's like I remember when Bitcoin dominance was 70% many years ago, many moons ago. That was so long. So this, at least they've fixed some of the stuff for performance-wise with the new LOL miner. I got a love-hate relationship with LOL miner. There are times where LOL miner works just fine, but I constantly have an issue, especially running in Hive with LOL miner, that I can tell that as soon as I use it, my hash rate's high, but it's not a very stable miner, especially with all my NVIDIA GPUs. It just poops itself. Just to be nice, I have more crashes and hung up rig cards on LOL miner than I do using most other miners. So, not saying that you're going to have particularly any issues. I have issues every time I've used LOL miner. So I tend to cringe when it comes down to, I'm going to use LOL miner. Yeah, no. Not that I'm not mining Nexa anyway. So it really doesn't make anything to me make any difference. So, yeah. I'm not sure why they have so many issues with LOL miner. But yeah, and I'm not sure what it does good at. It's like I'm not mining every coin out there. Let's just be real. I'm not chasing profits. I'm not trying to check out every coin I'm gonna try to mine. This way I've got, it's not like a Pokemon and you try to collect them all. Uh, but I'd be curious to know what coin that LOL miner was really focused on and what they do really good with. You know what I'm saying? Like, for all the stuff that I've tried utilizing LOL miner on, it's just not the right miner for me. What's going on? Last piece to the puzzle. What's going on, home dog? So, and then last little thing before I do any kind of like facility updates here. Check this out. I got a good chuckle. We always got to have something to laugh about every day. Here's your laugh about. Spanish Rehab Center adds crypto trading addiction to its service list. Yo! So it hits in as a gambling addiction, guys. Let's be real about this. It's not that crypto trading is an addiction. It's the fact that you're going into the casino and gambling on what coin's going to do good next. And gamblers that go into the casino get the same dopamine fix and they have the same addiction. Crypto traders that do their day trading, they get the same thing. And same thing with swing traders on the traditional stock market. Anytime that you can sit there and do gambling of any sort, I don't care what you want to hide it behind, I'm a swing trader. AKA, I gamble and I'm very emotionally wrecked on a daily basis. Same thing with shitcoin trading. If you're Bitcoin, you don't trade Bitcoin. You buy it or you sell it. There's no trading it. But you can do that with shitcoins, where you can sit there and trade in and out, and you get that hype of when you won, and you get that emotional drop whenever you lose. You become very, very emotional over time because you're in the shitcoin market and you're trying to outpace the gains that Bitcoin can get naturally over time. And yes, for every one person that makes money on crypto trading, yeah, they're emotionally train wrecked. Like, yeah, they a really good trader, if they're really good, they can win up to about 65% of the time. 65% winning streak. For me, I buy Bitcoin and I'm winning. It's a 100% winning streak. So there's no emotional dopamine hit that makes you get these highs and low, crazy highs and crazy lows. It's just, I bought some Bitcoin. I'm gonna go get a burger. It's like a nothing sandwich. It's stress free to just stack sats and hodl. But when you're sitting there and you're shitcoin trading, you get emotional. You get a dopamine hit when you win, and then you go into a dopamine deficiency when you lose. It's the same thing with drug addiction and any other kind of gambling out there. It's like, yes, but working a 9 to 5 that lets you hate is even more working a 9 to 5 job that you hate is even more emotionally draining. It depends on, how can I put it? The outlook on that is wrong. So you can change an outlook on there and not be emotionally draining by doing. It's like sometimes, like I never hated the jobs that I've worked. I never hated the jobs I did. I might have not liked the people that was around me while working. That makes it more miserable. But the job itself, I would just focus in on the job and I would do the job better than anybody else. And to hell what anybody else has to think about it. You know what I'm saying? So you change your viewpoint and you change your outcome. When it comes down to jobs that are just drain you, it's like customer service. If you do a lot of customer service, that's just emotionally draining because you got people that are calling you being pissed off from the moment they call you, and you're at the crosshairs and it's your fault. That's a little different. But outside of that, change the outlook. You can change the outlook of your mind on the job, and the job's not so miserable. You know. But I'll sit there and just stack my sweet busy Bitcoin. I'll sit there and mine some shit coins and then trade and swap that out to Bitcoin. I don't even get emotional about that. I'm like, oh, I got a whole big old bag of poop coins. Let's change that into Bitcoin. So I'm not worried about losing money anymore. You know what I'm saying? And one keystroke, and bam, I have sweet busy Bitcoin and no shit coins. That to me is a more of a win-win, fellas. Yo. So, but it's funny that a Spanish rehab center is adding crypto trading to it. And I wonder if they've also got stock trading, and it's like they've got to have any kind of gambling that will create high adrenaline, because adrenaline and dopamine hits are very addictive to your brain. I mean, even laboratory mice are not privy to it. You can sit there, and they've put wires in the mice into the mice's brain, and they hit a button, and it would give them instant pleasure. They'd hit a different button, and it would give them food, and the mice starved to death. So, I mean, there is that, guys. And all right, let's go ahead and go into some mining, some facility updates. Facility update time. Sorry to you guys that I didn't put it into the Patreon early. I was gonna put it in over the weekend, and then Mikhail decided to talk about, brought it up during a live stream on Saturday on DCA Adventure. So it's been publicly announced then. So I will publicly announce it over on my side of the channel too, guys. So we officially have put in a request for 500 kVA. Yeah, 500 kVA, which that breaks down to a half a megawatts worth of power. So we have a work order going in for a half a megawatts worth of power. We're getting in like 200 amps of additional temporary power, so that we have one other client that's in the mining facility now. We're gonna slowly start onboarding people. So if you are in the Patreon, whether you're in the DCA Patreon for DCA your mining, or you're in my personal Patreon, links down below, please join. Especially if you want to get into the facility first, you want to have VIP access, guaranteed slots for you on our shelves. You want to get in there. We are getting closer. And there's still a perk running in the Discord. I mean, not the Discord, the Patreon. For people who join the pseudo hasher tier, guys. It's a perk that you have to join in order to find out what it is. But it makes it like Patreon's free. It's almost like Patreon's free with this perk. I'm just saying. The value we're going to give back to you makes the Patreon free, guys. So, if you want the VIP access, I'm just saying, you want to be part of the Patreon. And then continued membership of the Patreon will continue the benefit of your mining rigs at the facility, guys. The two things are kind of interrelated to each other a little bit. There is that perk. But once we go public, guys, the perk's done. We'll be closing that perk down. It'll be only for the early adopters into the Family Mine LLC, guys. Yo. Like, I DCA all day, way. See, Holmes. So, we're going to have a bunch of power coming on with 500, with a half we're going to have 500,000 watts available, guys. half a megawatt worth of power. That means I should be able to take care of each and every one of you awesome people that are watching. If you want your rigs hosted at the Family Mine LLC, we got legit contracts. That paid almost $3,000 for a lawyer to write up. So I mean, like, I'm trying to go down the route of making sure everything's on the up and up. When you get involved with the facility, we treat you like family. We give you transparency of what the company's doing in the backside. I'm not going to sit there and tell you the finances behind it, but I'm going to tell you everything that's going on. Keep everybody up to date with it. It's like, and if you're wanting to, we'll make sure that you have access. If you're wanting to see your rigs or something like that, we could put a camera on your rig and be like, right here. We'll touch it. So just kind of gives you guys a better options. You'd be looking at like 9 cents per kilowatt hour for us to be hosting for you guys, plus $5 a month per rig on the shelf. We wanted everything in server cases. If you do not have server cases, we can supply one for you. We'll be having some. We're working on the backside to get some deals in for getting server cases, premium like the Octo Miners, all the way down to some cheaper, more budget-friendly style cases. So stay in tune with that, guys. So we'll be excited for this. Big congrats again. Yeah, I know, right, Gandhi? Oh my God. It has taken so long to get to where we're at right now. And man, the show is just getting started. Yo! I'm like super excited for everything, guys. So yeah. No, Crypto Badell. That's why these other companies, you shouldn't be mining with them. I'm just saying, we've got better rates. We are for the community. We are by the community and for the community. Like, when GPU mining is profitable, I'll send some GPUs. It's like, I'm so tired of hearing about them. I know, when we open up our doors to the public, we're gonna fucking change the game, guys. We are gonna change the game. We are gonna take these people and put them out of business if they don't change. And I don't care what they have to say. It'll be come get some. Me and Mikkel have been putting this together into the backside for the past 3 years. This is 3 years of me and Mikkel silently grinding away, getting this going. It's like, and last piece of the puzzle, we're talking 9 cents a kilowatt hour. All in. For every kilowatt hour you pay 9 cents. It's not going to be 9 cents plus, another 2 cents line service fee and another 1.5 cents for delivery charge. By the time you're all said and done, you're 14 cents per kilowatt hour out the door. It's like here at my house, I'm, with all the taxes and everything behind my bill, I'm just under 12 cents a kilowatt hour. And my base kilowatt hour is like 6.1 cents per kilowatt hour. Is my base. So, 6.1 to 11 point something, that's all the taxes and fees that ComEd tax on to my bill after I use the power. So almost half of my bill is to the electric company to have lines that they don't barely ever touch. It's highway robbery. Hell yeah, Crypto Bedell. Truth's over there. Last piece of the puzzle. I'm just saying. We have limited space. The FOMO is real. When we open up our doors, I don't think the room will last but maybe a week. I'm just saying. So get in, or be, it's where all the cool kids are going to be. I'm just saying. I'm still trying to talk Red Panda Mining into sending some of his rigs over too. Nice last piece of the puzzle. I hope I have room for you. I'm being serious. Because, yeah, it'll be interesting. It will be interesting. We're also going to be, potentially, once it's filled out and the building's profitable, we're looking at getting another location. We'll see how things go. And then in a couple of years, they're talking about putting a substation right down the street from us. Oh, we'll have gigawatt power, baby. Yo. So before I sign up out of here, does anybody have any comments or questions? If you don't have any comments or questions, just drop an FA in the chat while you're smashing that lizardy like button, fellas. Yo! Anybody have any other comments or questions? Yo, Sadie's all the time dropping that FA because she rocks. Yo. Like, if you ain't got no comments or questions, just drop FAs in the chat. Drop those FAs because you guys are rated F for freaking awesome. Yo. Ha. Ha, yeah. And then tomorrow, guys, we're Hogwarts Legacy is coming out tomorrow, guys. And I will be playing Hogwarts Legacy, damn it. I don't care if any of you judge me. I'm probably going to go live playing some Hogwarts Legacy here, guys. Possibly. It's like, oh, snaps, for real? Yeah, buddy. So I will go live here with some Hogwarts Legacy. He's like, I love Harry Potter. Too funny. So yes, if you are a Harry Potter fan of any sort, I'll be playing the new Hogwarts Legacy, which starts you off as a first-year student, which puts you in like the 1800s. So you're like way before Harry Potter was even a thing. So if you're into that stuff, I will be streaming that. Might be like from the moment that I'm able to get on with the game, which I believe, from the way that it looks like the time zone stuff is going to hit in, I think it'll be like it'll either, let's see here, if it's 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, that makes it 12 p.m. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. So it just kind of pushes me a little earlier. So it should be right around noon tomorrow, I'm thinking. But I will be kind of in limbo waiting because it's Steam. I did order the deluxe variation of the game, so I do get the 72-hour early access. I believe it starts at 12 p.m. my time. Unfortunately, PlayStation people have already been able to play it because they've already been given out. They've already distributed the physical copies and such. Crypto Bedell, yes, I am. I can. Well, actually, no. I've got to run to the bank and the post office real fast. So after that, I'll be free. So give me like an hour afterwards, and I can jump into a Discord voice chat with you. No problem, Adele. Anybody else got any other comments or questions before I head up out of here? Any at all? Come on, come on. Hit me up on Discord. Might have figured out or have more issues. No problem, Vidal. No problem. I will hop on there. I'll hit you up in about an hour or so. All right, no problem, my dude. I got you. I got you. Are we pulling back from going? Oh, are we pulling back or going higher? I'm thinking we're gonna sit here and just with Bitcoin. We're gonna sit here and just trend like a nice level plateau on this. I think we're going to trade sideways for a little while, and to me that'll be a good behavior of Bizity Bitcoin. So I don't think we'll pull back much further from where we're at. We're going to establish this as our new support line, guys. That's my thoughts. I'm just saying. So, with that being said, thank you everybody for being here. Don't forget to smash that Lizzy like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. You awesome people know what to do already. Psh, I already know that. So with that being said, peace out, stay savage. May your watts be low and your hash be high. I'll definitely see you awesome ones on the next one. Yo!